My mind drifts back to that Christmas Eve so long ago, when nothing in our little home seemed wrong and nothing in the world outside seemed right.
Do forget your sketchpad for a moment, Amy, and help us finish the tree.
Why isn't Beth helping with the garland?
Because Beth did most of the decorating before we came home.
I'll be glad to help. Just think of how pleased Mommy will be when she sees it.
I finished it at last, and not a moment too soon, if you ask me.
Joe, where have you been?
Need you ask? Just look at what she's wearing.
Say what you like about my writing hat, but I've just written a closing scene for The Witch's Curse that was a divine inspiration.
Well, we finished trimming the tree without you.
Christmas won't be the same without presents.
Yes, it's dreadful to be poor.
I can remember when we used to be rich.
I remember too.
It's not fair that some girls have plenty of lovely things, while other girls, prettier girls, have nothing at all.
We're so much better than others, though. Orphans, for instance. We still have Father and Marmee and each other.
But we don't have Father, and probably won't for quite some time. Who can say how long the war will last?
Many families in the north and south will be missing their men this year.
The Army's having a dreadful winter. Supplies are scarce. Marmee's right when she says we shouldn't buy presents for each other this year. We should make some sacrifices, too.
I don't mind most of the sacrifices, but I am tired of remaking these dresses year after year.
But none of you guys suffer the way I do. You don't have to go to school with impertinent girls who label your father just because he's poor.
If you mean libel, say so. And stop talking about labels as if Papa were a pickle jar.
I know what I mean, and you needn't be statical about it. It's proper to use good words and improve your vocabulary.
Vocabulary! Christopher Columbus, aren't we proper?
Joe, don't. It's so boyish.
That's why I do it.
I hate rude and unladylike girls.
And I hate affected little chits.
Birds in their nests agree.
Really now, you're both to blame. Amy, your prim ways are funny now. You'll grow up to be an affected little goose if you aren't careful. And as for you, Joe, it's time to stop your boyish tricks. You turn up your hair now, and remember that you are a young lady.
I ain't. And if turning up my hair makes me one, I'll wear it in 2 tails till I'm 20. I don't want to grow up and be Miss March. I won't wear long gowns and be prim as a porcelain doll. I just can't get over my disappointment in not being a boy. Look at me, dying to go out and fight in the war with Papa. And all I can do is sit at home and knit like some pokey old woman.
Poor Joe.
Oh, I don't want your pity. Because one day, I'll be a famous writer and make a fortune writing books. Then I'll live and behave as I please. Amy will have dozens of dresses with satin and lace, and Meg will have plenty of handsome beaux to dance with, and a beautiful new piano for my Becky.
I should like that.
So, no more fighting, and let's get to work on our play. Beck, play something gruesome for us. Amy, I wrote a new scene for you. It's wonderful.
No.
It's very simple. All you have to do is shout, "Rodrigo, Rodrigo, save me, save me," then faint.
Rodrigo, Rodrigo, save me, save me. I can't do that. I can't go throwing myself about being all black and blue like you. Besides, I've already designed my costume. Tumbling about would crush my gold paper jewelry and crown.
You don't have any jewelry, and you certainly don't have a crown.
Why not? I'm a princess, am I not?
Yes, but you don't know it. You think you're a serving girl for Beck, Hagar the witch.
Every princess knows she's a princess.
Well, you don't. Now, we're locked in the tower when suddenly I, Hugo the villain, enter, and you cry out to Rodrigo.
I thought Meg was Don Pedro, my father.
She is, but you don't know it. I've told you a dozen times. You haven't the slightest idea of who you are until the end of Act 5.
Oh. So does Meg know
yours.
Then I want to know too. Why am I always the ignorant one?
Because if you know who you are, the play's over.
Well, it's too long anyways.
Amy, please just do the scene. Besides, it's not polite to correct the author.
Yes, Joe is a regular Shakespeare.
Well, it's nothing really. All right, places, everybody. Are you ready? I am Hugo. Here I come with wicked intentions. Aha! I move closer. Aha!
Now eat your tea, girls.
Why can't we have coffee?
Because it's scarce, dear. Ships are needed in time of war. They've got no time to go off to Brazil and bring back coffee for Miss Amy March. And besides, some folks have got nothing better to do with their time than to pry into other folks' business.
Who is it, Hannah?
That Lawrence boy,
What Lawrence boy?
Mr. Lawrence's grandson. He's come to live with him.
I didn't know the old fusspot had a grandson.
He just arrived last week, and from what I've heard, he sounds like a fine one.
Why? What's he done?
Well, besides running away from school,
That is the bravest thing I have ever heard.
he was found in an army registration office. He lied about his age and tried to join up. Can you imagine?
I certainly can. I should like to do the same thing.
Ha! Fine soldier you'd make.
Joe, don't.
Oh, Joe. It's our private property. I can look out as much as I'd like.
You're as bad as he is.
There he is.
Beth, stand back from the window.
Well, I'm certainly glad he's a boy. I should like to get to know a boy and have some fun for a change.
Don't say such things.
I wonder how I could get to know him. I know our cat can get lost, and he can bring it back.
That doesn't sound very romantic.
Who said anything about romance? You, over here! Hello!
Joe, you're disgracing us.
Hello! That wretched boy. He waved back.
Perhaps now you'll draw the curtains, and we can finish rehearsing the play.
I suppose so.
Yes, now where were we?
Rodrigo, save me, save me.
Oh, yes. Well, perhaps if you try it like... Or, well, it's just no use. Do your best when the time comes. If the audience boos, don't blame me.
I'm glad to find you so very, my girl.
Marnie, sit down.
How was your day? Has anybody called, Bethy?
Not yet, Marnie. Here, put these on. They're nice and warm.
Thank you, Bethy. Joe, you look tired to death.
Oh, I'm all right.
Have you seen her march at the position yet?
Not yet. How was work with the Ladies' Army Aid Auxiliary today?
We were so short on blankets, we had to start cutting up carpets to send to the men.
I wouldn't mind sleeping under a carpet if I could join up.
Oh, Joe.
How's your cold, Mary?
Practically gone, Marmy.
Have you seen Mrs. King today?
Yes, I start on Monday. $4 a week, Marmy. And the house is so lovely. And the children seem so sweet. It won't be like work at all.
I'm so proud of you. Joe, be a dear, fetch my mother. I have a surprise for you.
A surprise for Joe?
Well, for all of you, really.
Father!
A letter!
Sent you all a little Christmas message. Now, who could that be?
From the sound of the pounding, I'd say Aunt March.
Yeah, there's her sleigh. Oh, I'd love to own a sleigh. Then I wouldn't have to walk everywhere.
Good evening, Aunt March.
Good evening. Not at all, miss. Not at all. It's freezing cold, the dead of winter, and you haven't even shoveled a proper path to the front door. I could have slipped and broken who knows what. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Aunt March.
Nice of you to visit us tonight, Auntie.
Yes, come in by the fire.
No, thank you. I have a fire at home, right? I should be this very minute. Only stopped by to bring you these. Meg,
Thank you, Aunt March.
Joe,
Thank you, Aunt March.
Amy, thank you, Aunt March, Beth. Goodness gracious, where is that child?
Here I am, Aunt March.
For goodness sake, stop skulking around like that. Come out in the open. I always say,
Thank you, Aunt March.
far be it from me to complain, but when I was a little girl, I used to make a very special point of visiting my aunt's homes, which were Merry Christmas, not the other way around. I didn't force them to leave the comfort of their sitting rooms and travel halfway across town to come and visit me. See that you spend it wisely.
The girls and I are planning to visit you tomorrow, Auntie.
Tomorrow? Well, we never know what will happen tomorrow now, do we? Have you heard from that foolish father of yours, waltzing off to war like that, leaving others to take care of his family? Doesn't he realize Lincoln needs fighters to win the war, and not worn-out old preachers like himself?
We're very proud of Father, and you should be too.
Joe.
Besides, we don't need anyone to take care of us.
My, or are we hoity-toity?
Some tea, Aunt March.
No. If your father had listened to me, you'd all be far better off than you are now. I begged him not to invest that money with that swindler. I took one good look at him, and I knew he swiped the pennies out my dead man's eyes.
Well,
But your father believes he sees good in every ne'er do well he shakes hands with.
well, there's no point in dwelling on the past, Auntie.
Besides, it was our money that got lost, and it hasn't got anything to do with you.
Don't be impertinent with me, Missy. You're as pig-headed as your father, and you've got much common sense as a dizzy cow. It's a waste of time talking to you. Like, you're none who listens to my good advice. Like talking to a lot of geese. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Aunt March. Christmas, Aunt March.
Aunt March, wait.
How do you plan to try my patience now, Miss Impertinence?
It's just that I'd like to apologize for my outburst. And I'm willing to bury the hatchet if you are. So what do you say? Well, if the position is still open, I'd like to be your personal companion.
You certainly are a trial, Miss Josephine March. But I suppose the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Come around my house after the holidays if it suits you.
Thank you, Aunt March. You won't be sorry.
Merry Christmas, Josephine.
Well, it's all settled then.
What is?
I'm Aunt March's new paid companion.
Oh?
I'll read her books, keep her company, and make pleasant conversation.
Pleasant conversation.
When do you begin?
After the holidays.
May we open our envelopes now?
Yes, sir.
$1! How plummy! I can buy a new book. Maybe The Black Avenger.
How I love a bonnet with ribbons and lace and a long feather.
I'll buy a new sketch pad and some favorite pencils.
What will you buy, Bethany? I would like some new music.
May we run to the shop now, Marmy, before it closes?
All right, girls.
But what about Father's?
Yes, our letter.
First, our letter from Father.
To my loving wife, give my girls a kiss and tell them I think of them by day, pray for them at night, and find my best comforts in their affections at all times. I know that they will remember all I've said, that they will be loving children to you and work diligently, so that these hard times need not be wasted. I know they will fight their bosom enemies bravely and conquer themselves so beautifully that when I come back to them, I may be fonder than ever of my little women.
Ma'am? Miss Hannah? Sorry to disturb you, ma'am, but it's a message from Mrs. Hummel. She wants to know if you can come right away.
Yes, of course, Hannah. Beth, will you fetch my boots? Joe, my wrap.
Good night, my girls.
Good night, Marty.
Good night, Mommy. Don't wait up for me. I might be late. Good night.
Good night. Mommy ought to have a new pair of slippers. I can make do with the music I have.
No, I'm the man of the house while Papa is gone. I'll provide the slippers.
Beth thought of it first.
Well, then I'll buy her a pair of new shoes.
Gloves. A fine pair of pink gloves. Maybe kid.
I'll buy her a bottle of cologne. A small bottle, so it won't cost too much. And I'll still be able to buy my pencils.
But Joe, won't the stores be closed by now?
Then we'll storm the Citadel. They'll have to open up for us. Come on.
So Christmas was a time for presents once more, presents for our Marmee. We could hardly contain our excitement over the surprise we knew would await our Marmee in the morning. But our holiday fervor was momentarily surpassed by the preparations for our special performance, the Christmas Eve premiere of The Witch's Curse, an operatic tragedy.
It's so nice of you March girls to share your holiday festivities with me.
The Witch's Curse, an operatic tragedy.
Zara, where is that wicked servant girl of mine?
Oh, Hagar, here I am. What is your bidding?
Go into the woods, to the castle of Hugo the Black.
Oh, woe is me.
There to deliver the secret codicil.
Oh, Rodrigo, my love, my life. Rodrigo? Rodrigo? Where are you, my love? My heart quakes with fear. Strange that this should be our appointed destination. Apprehension floods my soul of tremulous terror. I fear some evil awaits me tonight. Rodrigo, would that you were here now. Who's there? Rodrigo, my love?
Not this side, Hugo the Black.
Oh no!
Oh yes, and I intend to make you my wife this night. My haunted wood shall be your bridal bower.
Rodrigo, help me! Lord, take pity on my helpless soul.
At last you are mine. Rodrigo is but a fading dream now.
Oh, Rodrigo, save me, save me!
Tonight I shall make Zara my bride.
Christopher Columbus, don't intend to bruise myself on your account, Joe.
Girls, the audience is waiting.
Oh, Rodrigo, where are you? Will you not save me from a fate worse than death? I know my line, Joe. You needn't degradate me. Quickly, free me before the stroke of midnight, or I shall be lost to you for all eternity. Don't let me become the devil's bride.
'Tis I, Rodrigo, here to foil the witch's curse. Zara, my love, where are you?
Oh, Rodrigo, here I am. Oh, I knew you would not fail me. Quickly, free me from my prison tower before the stroke of midnight, or I shall be lost to you for all eternity.
Here, my love. Together, we shall journey far from this place of darkness, to the safety of... Oh, dear!
Just go on. Don't ask me nothing happened. Oh no, this is dreadful, just dreadful.
Now, people, if you'd all care to retire to the dining room, refreshments will be served directly. Compliments of old Mr. Lawrence himself. Oh, really? Oh, my.
Oh, Marmee, it was just wonderful.
Really? Truly? You're becoming quite a person. Now go and enjoy the festivities with your friends.
Thanks to Marmee and the wonderful holiday delicacies provided by Mr. Lawrence, my play felt as though it had been every bit the success I had hoped it would be. Our spirits were buoyed even further by the anticipation of Christmas morning and the wonderful surprise our presents would be for our Marmee.
Christopher Columbus!
Kidney pies.
And coffee and popovers.
And everything.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Hannah.
The table looks beautiful, Hannah. Heavens, don't know what all the fuss is about. I remember back when I fixed you folks breakfast like this every morning.
We must have been enormously rich. How was I dressed when we had all of that money?
In diapers.
Isn't Marmee up yet?
Oh yes, up and out.
On Christmas morning? Where is she?
At the Hummels. Poor Mrs. Hummel delivered her baby this morning.
The Hummels have another baby?
6 children, half frozen, huddled together in one bed with no fire. All skin and bones they are, so your mother took her breakfast over there for them. Now, I believe in charity as much as the next person, but we haven't got anything to spare.
But didn't she see her presents?
Yes, she did, and right pleased with them she was. Now she said for you to go to eat your breakfast and go straight up to church. She'll meet you there.
Beth, what's the matter?
I don't feel so hungry anymore.
Beth, dear, people are starving everywhere, every day. If you let that worry you, you'll never eat again.
I try not to think about it. But we don't know those people. We do know the Hummels. We passed their house on the way to church.
What are you saying? Joe, you are not going to give our breakfast to the Hummels, are you?
You wouldn't do something like that, would you? I could.
So could I.
Well, it's all or none.
I don't suppose none of us is an option. Fine, but I insist on a secret vote.
Oh, Amy.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Fine. I.
Good. It's settled then. Let's bundle up.
What is it then?
Grab your wrap, Hannah. We're off to church, with just one stop along the way.
Land sakes, is my whole breakfast up to the Hummels then?
The whole table, Hannah.
Well, then I suppose I could spare a quart of wood too.
Oh, Hannah, you're an angel.
I'll take the popovers. You can take the milk.
No, I can manage perfectly.
I'm sure you can. That's why you're taking the milk. We have to have something left for the Hummels.
Excuse me, miss. I believe you dropped this.
Why, thank you.
Come along, Josephine.
Say, you're that Lawrence boy that lives next door, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Theodore Lawrence, and this is John Brooke, my tutor.
Well, how do you do?
How do you do?
And how do you do?
And how do you do?
We've heard all about you, you know. How you ran away from school and tried to join up. I think it's just funny.
We should be going, Josephine.
You know, I've seen you watching us from your window, and
Well, I didn't mean to be rude, but it's so dull at grandfather's. Dull's a tune to be frank, and, well, your home always looks so interesting and fun, like a picture, when all the lamps are lit, and you gather around your mother.
where's your mother?
Oh, she died here shortly after my father's death.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I give you leave to watch us anytime you like, and come over and join the picture if you feel like it.
No, I couldn't. Grandfather would say I wasn't posing.
Bilge Warner. Theodore Lawrence, you are officially invited to call in the march home whenever you please.
Thank you, I will.
Josephine, please.
Honestly, Meg, let's go. Well, goodbye.
For now.
For now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Miss March.
Josephine March. What will they think of us now, stopping to talk on the street like that, without being properly introduced?
Oh, I don't care. And I'll bet they don't either. Besides, you certainly weren't very polite. You're getting as prissy as Amy. It wouldn't hurt you to say hello.
Not after the way that man stared at me.
What man? Oh, you mean Mr. Brooke? I hadn't noticed.
Well, I did. Oh my!
What is it?
He's still looking!
Who? Mr. Brooke, don't look. And so ended the first brief encounter with one who would become one of the truest friends our little family would ever know. But as winter began to melt away into spring, I wondered if my invitation to call on us would ever be taken up by young Mr. Lawrence.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Theodore Lawrence, calling on Miss Josephine March.
Joe, you've got company. Right this way, Mr. Lawrence.
Well, hello, Theodore.
Please, call me Lori. Everybody else does.
All right, Lori then.
I expect you're going to need a spot of tea.
That would be lovely, Hannah.
I thought so.
Now, do tell me all about yourself before you arrived here in Concord, Mr. Lori.
Well, I used to live in Europe before my parents.
Europe? How exciting! I'm going there too, you know.
Really? When?
Well, I don't know really, but my Aunt March, what a grouchy old thing she is, has rheumatism, and did I tell you I work as her companion? Anyway, the doctors in Europe said the baths could do her some good. Did you go to the baths? I mean for rheumatism.
I don't have rheumatism.
Of course not, but I thought the baths couldn't do you any harm. What do you think?
Here you go.
Thank you, Hannah.
This spoon will talk the ear off of a stalk of corn, given half the chance.
Oh, I don't mind. I like talking.
I hope so, for your sake. Enjoy, call if you need anything.
Thank you, Hannah. Anyway, I really want to go to Europe for my riding. Travel is so important for a rider. What'd you say?
I didn't say a thing.
Oh. Well, how are you getting along with your grandfather?
Oh, fine, I suppose. It's just that.
I know. You should have seen him before you came.
Really? Isn't he a terror?
You ought to meet my Aunt March. Slice of cake.
Please, it almost looks too good to eat.
Meg made it.
Is she the oldest? Brooke and I were wondering.
Why should he wonder about her?
He seems rather taken with her. Truly, you've noticed. Does she like anyone in particular?
So he sent you to find out for him. Well,
No, I just...
well, you can tell him we don't like anyone in this house. I mean, we do like many different people in this house, but we don't like young men. Well, we do like young men, but we don't like young men who wonder about who we like. Meg is just too young and too smart to wonder about who wonders about her.
Perhaps I'd better go.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be out of sorts. Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Do you really want to go?
No, not really. It's so dull over there, and, well, over here, everything seems so lively.
I'm glad you like it.
I was wondering if I could be alone in your place sometimes. Would that be alright?
I'll say, I should love it if someone else could play the villain for a change. I hate wearing that mustache. It makes me sneeze.
Oh, I know how to fence too.
Really?
Really?
On guard! A hit! A hit! What say
A
you?
touch, I do confess.
Quick, you were rollicking! Something just arrived.
Mrs. March! Mrs. March! It's one of those telegram things!
His father.
Oh, Marmee? No.
He's been wounded. He's in the hospital in Washington. I must go at once.
I could ask grandfather for the carriage to take you to the train station.
You'll need fare for the train and expenses, but we don't have enough in our savings to pay for those things.
I'll go and ask Aunt March.
Quickly, girls, we'll help you run the pack.
The next few hours were spent preparing Marmee for her journey. I set out for Aunt March's house on my self-appointed mission. I thought our request to help Marmee get to father would be an unpleasant but simple task. I never imagined how my journey would end.
There now. I think that's everything. Don't forget those.
Wonder what could be keeping Joe.
The carriage is waiting outside, and grandfather sent along a bottle of work, Mr. Blanche.
Thank you, Lori. And give my kindest regards to your grandfather. Bethany, dear, place this carefully in my travel satchel.
Yes, Mommy.
Careful not to shake it.
Where is Joe?
Well, where is she? Where is she? Where is that bell-tempered daughter of yours?
I thought she was with you, Aunt March.
Not very likely, not after her visit. Here, take this. Lord knows you'll need more than you asked for. One can only guess what will happen once you get there.
Thank you so much, Aunt March.
Oh, pish, posh, and twaddle. You're too sentimental. Now, you know how to get there, right? You change trains to New York, or Port City, and then you...
I'm afraid that won't be necessary, ma'am. Mr. Lawrence has asked me to accompany Mrs. March on the train to see that she gets to Washington safely.
That's terribly kind, Mr. Brooke. But really, there's no need.
It'd be my great pleasure to be of service to you and your family, Mrs. March. Besides, Mr. Lawrence has engaged me in some work to complete for him while I'm there. So you see.
But you're terribly kind. Thank you. Thank you all so very much.
Then, with your permission, I'll load your luggage into the carriage and wait for you outside.
Thank you, Mr. Brooke.
I want to apologize for being less than maybe in the past, Mr. Brooks. You've been very kind to our family. You don't know what a relief it is to know that Marmy has someone to look after her.
Thank you, Miss Margaret. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna be keeping that child. At least finish your tea while you're waiting, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Mom. Becky,
Don't finish comments while I'm away.
I won't, Marmy. I promise.
Well, someone might remember me, too, for me once in a while, too, for a change. Well, I hope everything turns out for the best. I doubt it.
In March.
Yes, miss, here I am. No thanks to you. I had to get up, get dressed, and ride over here by myself because you're so stubborn. Well, you certainly didn't get that from my side of the family. Good day, Miss Josephine March.
Joe, where have you been all this time? Marmy was worried sick. We all were.
Yes, what could have kept you?
Oh, I went to Aunt March. She croaked like she always does whenever someone asked her to open her purse. Well, I just couldn't stand it. There he is, her own nephew, sick in the hospital, and all she can do is complain about money. So, well, I lost my temper, and here's my contribution.
$25? Where on earth did you get it, Joe?
I came by it honestly. I only sold what belonged to me.
Oh, Joe,
How could
oh,
you?
no.
You're one beauty.
Goodness gracious, it doesn't affect the State of the Union. I just happened by the wig maker's shop and saw some tails of hair in the window with the price tags on them. And I thought it might do me some good to have my mouth cut off. So I did.
Thank you, Joe.
Are you ready, Miss March? We'll have to hurry now. Christopher Columbus, what happened? You look like a porcupine. Sorry.
Oh, I don't mind.
It'll grow back, just as beautiful as before. But you'll never be as beautiful as you are right now.
I like it.
It will be easy to keep up.
And it's strangely becoming.
We'll need to hurry, Miss March.
Yes, you can't miss your train.
Yes, you're right.
Can't we go with you?
No, it's best if you stay here and carry on as usual. Remember to comfort each other. Meg, you watch after your sisters. Try to be more patient, Joe. And Beth, don't forget to comfort.
No, Marmy, I won't. I promise.
Amy, be obedient. Goodbye, my darlings.
Goodbye.
I will keep this picture of you in my mind. God bless and keep us all.
Bye,
Bye,
Marmy.
Mommy.
Oh, my poor Joe. You're crying.
No, I'm not.
It will be all right, dear. Marmy has Mr. Brooke to look after her, and Father's a strong man, I'm sure.
I'm not crying because of that.
Then what is it?
My hair!
Father's convalescence in that Washington hospital lasted many months, and life in our little home soon found a simple domestic pattern in Marmy's absence. Our friendship with Laurie continued to grow, and the surprising support and neighborly friendship of his grandfather was a boon to all our spirits. I had worked furiously at my scribblings during that summer, and had begun sending off some of my manuscripts to publishers. Then, an important letter arrived for me that fall.
Now I'll find out what you've been up to with all your scribbling lately. Is this why you haven't had any time for me lately?
Return it now, Mr. Lawrence, or never speak to me again.
Oh, all right. Just like a girl. First you say we aren't going to have any secrets, then this.
Well, this is different.
It's still a secret.
No.
Well, you can keep it, because I've got one too.
Oh, Bilgewater.
And it's funny.
Very.
Very.
Oh, fine. That's the game you're going to play. You tell me yours and I'll tell you mine. Oh, fine. Read it yourself.
Pay to the order of Miss Josephine March $1 for her story entitled The Phantom Hand.
Well, what do you think of that?
$1?
Go on, laugh. But that's just the start. Someday I'll get as high as 10.
I swear I'll never understand you. Cooped up in that attic every spare minute. Riding away, missing out on all the fun we could be having. And for what? A measly $1, Joe? If it's money, what? I've got plenty of it.
Oh, it's not money. Not really. It's a strange, nervous feeling on the inside. It's my story, and soon it will be in print. People will read it, something that I wrote.
Well, I don't understand it, but if it makes you happy, I suppose.
All right now, play fair, Teddy. What's your secret?
I know where Meg's missing glove is.
Is that all?
Ask me where it is.
Well, where is it?
Brooke has it.
How do you know?
Saw it.
Where?
His pocket. He found it the night they danced together at grandfather's party. Isn't that romantic?
No, it's rubbish.
I thought you'd be pleased.
Pleased? At the thought of someone taking Meg away? Why do things always have to change, just when they seem perfect? Meg used to share everything with me, and now she keeps to herself and thinks that John is a lovely thing, and brown eyes are beautiful. Well, I think it's sickly, sentimental, romantic rubbish, and he better not try to break our family up.
Well, you'll feel differently when someone comes to take you away.
I'd like to see someone try it. I'll die a spinster rowing my own canoe before I let any man catch me.
I'll catch you, Josephine March.
Never! Meg, save me!
Good afternoon, Miss Josephine. Good afternoon, Master Theodore.
Thank you for your assistance this afternoon, John.
My pleasure.
Goodbye, Mr. Brooke.
Yes, well, goodbye, John.
Goodbye, Meg.
I have never been so embarrassed in all my days. When will you stop behaving like a child?
Not until I'm old and stiff and need a crutch. Don't make me grow up before my time, Meg. It's hard enough having you change all of a sudden. Let me be a little girl as long as I can.
I haven't changed a bit. But it's time you stopped your romping ways. Just look at you. No hairpins, no combs, running down the public road like a loose horse.
I wish I were a horse.
You're such a child.
Perhaps I better go. Joe, why are you mad at me?
Hannah? Hannah? Where's Hannah? Beth, what's the matter? Joe, don't come near me. I feel so strange and please get Hannah.
Hannah, come quickly.
Here, Becky, why don't you come in?
What's happened, Joe?
Oh, Meg, don't come near me.
What is it?
Oh, Joe, the baby is dead. The little homo baby died in my lap.
Oh, my dear Becky.
She seemed asleep, but then she gave a cry and she trembled and lay so still. I tried to warm her feet. She just lay so still. And I knew she was dead.
It's not your fault.
The doctor came. He said it was scarlet fever.
Oh, Beth.
Well, lie down on the.
Keep Amy away. She's never had it. I feel so strange.
Joe, help me get her up to the room.
I'll be alright. I'll be fine.
Of course, Becky, of course you will.
Meg, where to get Dr. Brooke?
I've run away.
And you, miss, you're to stay clear of things down here for a while. We'll have to send you off to your Aunt March's for a spell, for your own good.
I won't go. I won't. I'd rather die of scarlet fever than go down March.
Oh, Amy, be quiet for once in your life.
You should be off as soon as you can. Scarlet fever's no joke.
But it's dull at Aunt March, and she's cross. And I don't want to be sent off as though I'm in the way. It's for your own good.
I tell you what, I have a plan. I'll pop in every day and tell you how Beth is.
And you'll take me out driving?
Every single day. On my arm.
And you'll bring me back the moment Beth as well?
The identical minute. See if I don't.
Well, alright then.
There's a good girl.
The days dragged out slowly into weeks. Meg and Hannah and I kept a constant vigil near Beth's bedside. We sensed the slightest change in her person. Amy's notes arrived daily, but nothing could relieve our anxiety and sorrow as we began to sense just how fragile Beth's hold on life had become.
Hannah, don't get up. I just came by to see how she was doing today.
Dr. Bangs had expected the fever to break by now. I'm afraid we'll have to send for Mrs. March as soon as Meg returns.
Oh, Hannah.
You children begged me to telegram her weeks ago, but I was afraid of just fretting her just yet. And now, Dr. Bangs says the end may be very close, and Miss Beth seems weaker every moment.
Hannah?
Yes, miss.
She doesn't even recognize us. How I wish Marvin were here. She'd know what to do.
It's alright, Joe.
If only I'd sent that telegram.
It's alright, Joe. Marmy will be here soon.
No, she won't. How can she be? There isn't time.
Grandfather and I got fidgety, so we sent Brooke back to go get her. She'll be here on the 5 o'clock train.
Marmy? Here? In a few hours?
Yes, Joe.
Oh, Lori. Dear Lori. Lori, if life is as hard as this, I don't think I'll ever get through it.
We'll all laugh again and have fun games, just like old times. You'll see.
I hope so, Lori. I truly do.
Well, I'm off to the station now, and I shan't spare the horses.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Please, Lord, if you must take Bethy, please wait until Marmy gets home. But please, Lord, please don't take her, because she's such a... Well, please don't.
Yes, Dr. Bangs, exactly as you said. The fever is broken.
Oh, thank heaven!
He says she's certain to pull through now.
Oh, Hannah, I don't think I'll ever complain about another thing for as long as I live.
We're to give her plenty of warm milk for strength as soon as she's able.
Yes, Hannah. What about Amy?
Sent for as soon as the doctor said. Is Beth resting now?
Yes. I'll have all her old linen stripped off and new ones on in just a few minutes.
Have plenty of warm milk. I'll help for her.
Yes, Hannah. Marmy!
Oh, Marmy, you're home.
Bethy? Marmy, I thought you look so beautiful.
Amy! I came as quick as your letter said. Marmy!
She's going to recover. Our Bethy is going to recover.
Oh, Beth, I thought of you night and day. I even wrote a will.
A will?
Yes, just in case I got sick too. You shouldn't laugh. I left you my bronze ink stand, my sketch pad, and my plaster rabbit.
Well, how very thoughtful of you.
Although, since I didn't get sick, nobody gets anything.
Pardon me, is this the March home?
It is indeed.
Well, then I have a very special delivery for you.
Father!
Father!
Meg.
Ah, my dear, dear Bethy.
I call this plumbing. I do. The March family's all back together again. I call this splendid. Truly, I do. As the years passed, Father and Beth gradually regained much of their old strength. Yet Bethy seemed more fragile than before, and all but Father acknowledged this. The bonds of friendship with our neighbors, the Lawrences, grew ever stronger until Lori seemed almost one of the family. One member of the Lawrence household seemed truly bent on joining our little family. More disturbing still, was the fact that Meg seemed all too willing to oblige his little whim.
What are you doing?
Writing.
Well, I can see that. I mean, what are you working on?
I'm not sure yet, but it looks like it very may well become a tragedy depending on what the heroine decides.
Well, do keep me posted.
I'll do my best.
Will you be using this room much longer?
Why? Are you expecting someone?
I? Of course not.
You are. You're expecting that man, aren't you?
Oh, don't be foolish. And if you happen to be referring to Mr. Brooke, you...
I knew it. I knew it. You think you're in love with him, don't you?
Well, I haven't.
Well, I can tell you right now, you're not.
I'm not.
Of course not. I'm a writer, and I write about girls who are in love all the time. And I can tell you right now, you have none of the signs. You sleep fine, you eat well, and you're never depressed. Clearly, you're not in love.
Well,
So, there's no need to go off and do anything foolish, like marrying that man.
I don't intend to marry any man.
You don't? Well, cheers for you, Meg March.
Well, now.
What are you going to tell him? You should decide what to say, because, well, I guess it would be rude to just send him packing.
Well, I have no intention of being rude. Oh, really? This is all so silly. Who says he'll ask for my hand at all? All right. If he does, I will just say to him, quite calmly and politely, I'm afraid I must agree with Marmy. I am too young to enter into an engagement just now. But thank you, Mr. Brooke. You are most kind, and I hope that we can continue to remain good friends. How's that?
Good and stiff. That should throw him off the track. Just hand him his walking papers and things get back to normal around here.
It's him, Joe. I just knew it.
I'll clear out of the way. Just don't forget, cool and stiff. Oh, I'd love to see his face. Good afternoon, Mr. Brooke. Meg is in the sitting room. She's been expecting you.
Oh, really? Well, I'd only come by because I forgot my umbrella, and I thought I might speak to your father, too.
He's in the coat rack. I mean, it's reading the paper. Oh, I'll go tell him you're here.
Meg, is something the matter? Have I upset you somehow? Please, don't be angry with me.
How could I be? You've been so kind to our family.
May I tell you something?
Please don't.
Meg, I love you, and I know you care for me.
Please go away and leave me alone.
Do you really mean that?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well, won't you at least think about it? I'll wait.
Please,
What's this? What's going on here?
well, he's just a friend of Father's. I'm so surprised to see you.
That's evident. There's mischief going on here, and I insist on knowing what it is.
Mr. Brooke came for his umbrella, you see, and...
Brooke? That boy's tutor? Ah, I see it all now. He's proposed, hasn't he?
Please, he'll hear you.
Not until I speak my mind. Now let me tell you, miss, if you marry this hook, or rook, or crook, not a penny of my money goes to you.
You can give your money to anyone you please, Anna March. And I will marry whomever I please.
Now, be a reasonable girl. It's your job to marry a rich man and help the family. Now, this man knows that you have a rich relation, me, and that's why he wants to marry you.
How dare you say such a thing? Why, my John would no more marry for money than I would.
My, heighty-tighty, aren't we, Miss Independence? Well, you see where my good advice gets me. But remember, the day you marry him is the day I disinherit you. Now, will you maybe forget what I came here for, Miss Insolence? I wash my hands of you, the lot of you.
Meg, I couldn't help it over here, but thank you for defending me. And thank you to Aunt March for proving that you do care for me. A little bit.
I didn't know how much until she said all those dreadful things.
Meg, will you wait for me?
Soon, summer was upon us, and sooner still was John and Meg's wedding day. Our lives were so full with preparations and plans for the wedding that we scarcely had time to think about the void that would be left in our little house on the day of Meg's departure. But that day came at last, and with it those same feelings of joy and loss that attend the members at most weddings.
Joe, come back. The celebration has just begun. Don't cry, Joe. Don't cry. It'll be all right.
No, it won't. Our family will never be the same again.
Well, you still have me, Joe.
I know, Teddy. And you don't know how much I appreciate that, my dear, dear boy. Now, I've had my silly scene, and we should get back to the party before we're missed.
Not just yet, Joe. Please, there's something I need to ask you.
No, Teddy, please don't.
I will, and this time you must listen. The sooner the better for both of us.
Say what you like, then. I'll listen.
I've loved you ever since I've known you, Joe. Couldn't help it. I tried to show you, but you wouldn't let me. Now I'm going to make you hear me and give me an answer.
I tried to save you from this. I never wanted you to care for me this way. I tried to keep you from it when I could.
I've only loved you all the more for it. I've tried to tell you out ever since I came back from college.
I know.
I know I'm not half good enough.
You should marry someone lovely and accomplished, who'll adore you and grace your fine house. I couldn't. I loathe the social whirl, and you adore it. You hate my scribbling, and I couldn't get on without it. In the end, we'd quarrel, and...
No.
Yes, we always have. It would be horrid if we were ever foolish enough to...
Marry? No, it wouldn't. Everyone expects it. Grandpa has his heart set in it. And your family too, Joe. Say you will, Joe. Marry me.
I can't. Oh, Lori, I'm sorry. I've tried to love you the way you want me to because I am so proud and fond of you. And I do love you dearly, but as a friend. I could never love you as a wife. It would be a lie to say I do when I don't.
Really and truly, Joe?
Really and truly. I don't believe I shall ever marry. I love my liberty too well to give it up for any man.
Yes, you will. I know you. You'll meet some no-account, good-for-nothing idiot. You'll fall in love. You'll work and live and die for him. I'll have to stand by and see it all. Well, I'll be hanged if I do.
Lori, wait. Come back. Where are you going?
Someday you'll be sorry, Joe March.
Why, Joe, why have you locked yourself away like this? You were missed. Meg and John want you there to see them off.
I'm sorry, Marmee. I felt tired and I needed to be alone for a while.
Well, all right then.
Marmee, what sort of plans do you have for us?
Plans, dear?
Yes, you know how some mothers have plans for their daughters, like wanting them to marry rich men or something? You asked me the other day what my wishes were, and I'll tell you as soon as you've told me what you want.
Well, I suppose I wish a good many things, not unlike anyone else. I want my children to be loved, admired, and respected. I want you to lead good and useful lives. I would be I pray that life sends you as few little sorrows possible. I'd be happy to see you marry a rich man, if you loved him. But I would rather see you happy as a poor man's wife, or a spinster, than watch you lose your love and self-respect in a loveless marriage, even if it made you the queen of the world.
Thank you, Marmee, thank you.
What's this?
I knew I made the right choice. I'm never getting married, ever.
Oh, really, dear?
No. Now, I'll tell you what I want. I want to go away.
What? Why? John!
I've thought about it a while, and I want something new. I need to be out seeing and doing. I want to hop a little ways and try my wings.
Well, where do you intend to hop?
New York?
Joe!
Amy can take care of Aunt March now. They're more compatible anyway. And you have Beth here to help, and, well, I thought I might go to work for Mrs. Kirk's. They're looking for someone to help with the children, and with so much to see and hear, I'd get lots of new ideas for my stories.
Well, be sure that, Joe, that you're running to something and not away from something or someone. Is it Lori?
Oh, Marmee. He's got all this romantic rubbish into his head. I thought it would blow over, but it's only gotten worse.
What do you feel about it?
I love him dearly, but as a friend.
So I think if I go away for a while, he'll get over it, and things can go back to the way they were. I know I don't want to make a mistake.
You're right. I think it would be best for both of you. I'll write to Mrs. Kirk, and if Father agrees it can be managed, you'll go.
Thank you, Mother.
Now come and see Meg and John off on their honeymoon.
All right.
Working at Mrs. Kirk's boarding house was one of the most exhausting and exhilarating experiences that I have known. New York flooded my mind with new sights and new friends, the most important of whom, Professor Fritz Baer, I shared so many thoughts and ideals similar to my own that I felt I had found a true kindred spirit. However, in the midst of my newfound fortunes, fate was going to spring a rude surprise, which was the consequence of my abominable tongue.
Good afternoon, Mrs. March. I'll show you right in. Show yourself then. Don't bother to announce me. The most remarkable slow woman I've ever had the misfortune to meet. Good afternoon. Could you come in and say good afternoon?
Afternoon.
I expect you to want a spot of tea then.
Goodness gracious, no. I would have completed my business here, driven to town and completed all of my afternoon calls before you can even capably warm up a pot. Very good, ma'am. Well, now to the point. I'm going abroad next month to Europe, and as we had discussed in the past, I will require a proper traveling companion.
We'll wire for Joe immediately, Auntie.
Joe? Oh, good heavens, no. That one's got such blunt disposition. She put a freeze on the foreign relations for the next decade. Oh, goodness, no.
But Auntie,
No, please, I'm quite decided about this. Amy will accompany me. We're more similar in temperament. Amy is docile, respectful, receive this honor graciously, without a sense of entitlement. But Auntie, I don't... No, hush, my child. Any excuses now would be stuff and nonsense. Besides, you need to have a chance to try your talents. Rome will be just the place for you to study your art.
we don't know how to thank you, Auntie.
This will be an exceptional opportunity.
Oh, pish posh.
Well, thank you, Aunt March.
Nonsense. No. Nonsense, my dear. Now, I'm off to town now to begin my preparations. You'll call me tomorrow, child, so we can get our preparations for travel.
Good afternoon, Aunt March.
Goodbye. Thank you again. Europe will do you a world of good, child. A world of good. Oh, Bonnie. Poor Joe.
Aunt March seems quite decided. It would be wrong for us to try to change your wishes. There will be no undoing things for Joe this time.
She'll be so dreadfully disappointed. How will I ever explain it to her?
Let's not ruin your good fortune with those concerns right now. Joe will have a reward someday, and it will be just as unexpected and as wonderful as yours.
Father's right. No reproaches and no regrets. You could stop in New York before you sail to see her personally, if that will help.
Yes, Mommy, that would be a comfort.
I hate to be selfish, but I'm glad Jill isn't traveling quite so far away just yet. It's hard enough to go with her just off in New York.
Well, enough talk for now. It's time we begin our preparations.
Amy's visit was a comfort for both of us. Her gentle ways and thoughtful words did much to ease the pain of losing my long-anticipated European tour. Aunt March informed me that Laurie and Mr. Lawrence had also booked passage to the continent. However, during those long days before they set sail, no calling card from my dear Teddy ever arrived. Laurie's intended slight wounded me every bit as deeply as he had hoped, but no experience in my early life had prepared me for the telegram I received several months later. So it was with a strange mix of emotions that I returned home to Concord after receiving that urgent message.
Has Joe arrived yet? No, child. Your father took the carriage to meet her at the station.
Is there anything we can do to help?
For land's sakes, no. There's little enough to do now as it is.
The house has been so empty with Joe gone. I'm now with Amy off, and
Oh, has the telegram been sent?
Yes, same day as Miss Josephine's. Amy's answer seemed to come back as soon as she had received it. Already had it back she was, but your parents wouldn't allow it. Too long and costly of a trip, and besides, it wouldn't be fair to Aunt March, as if that old biddy ever worried about anybody but herself.
the poor dear.
She must be so heartsick.
That she is, but Mr. Lawrence sent word that he and Lori would be meeting them in Nice, and they would do their best to keep her mind off things.
I'm sure they will. And Laura's such a comfort. Joe, you're here at last.
Oh, Meg.
Hannah,
Let me take your luggage upstairs for you.
The house has been so empty without you.
Put the kettle on, Hannah. I'll go fetch Marmy and Beth.
Papa, what can we do? I feel so alone. There must be something.
Nothing. It's just a matter of time now. The best thing we can do is to be strong for her sake. There. You mustn't let her see us cry.
I know, Father. I'll be strong for Bethy.
I know you will. I never doubted you for a moment, my brave girl.
Mommy. Joe. It's so good to have you back. Oh, Beth. Beth, how I missed you.
Oh, Joe, I'm longing to see you. And here you are, just like I dreamed. If only Amy were here, we could all be together again.
Oh, Beth.
I am sorry to interrupt, but
Yes, John, you're right. We should be getting back to the twins now. But I'll bring them over in the morning for a visit if you'd like.
Yes, I'm so eager to see them.
until tomorrow then.
Well, now, Beth, I have so much to tell you, I don't know where to begin.
Leave the two of you to your catching up then.
Night, girls.
Mommy,
Night, Beth.
Good night, Beth. Good night, Joe.
Good night,
good
Father.
night, Father.
Well then, presents first. There you are.
Oh, Joe, you're so thoughtful.
Well, wind it up. I thought I might accompany you while you play, since you haven't had me to croak along with you lately.
I don't play anymore.
Oh. Well, I almost forgot to tell you what I've been working on. A book.
A whole novel?
Yep.
May I read it?
Well, actually, I don't have it on hand right now. You see, I finished it just before I left.
When will it be published?
Oh, who knows? I didn't leave it with the publisher. I left it with Professor Bear.
You must be very fond of him.
I am. You see, he's the reason I wrote it. He told me to write about the people and places and things I know, instead of a bunch of made-up people and places I've never seen.
Did you?
Yes, Bethy, I did.
What's it about?
You, Bethy. Well, all of us, really. Right here, our little family and all of our happy times we used to share.
It's alright, Joe. You don't have to cry.
I'm not crying. Not really. I'm just so lonesome. Lonesome for Meg and Amy and all of our old times together.
Oh, Joe. Don't tell Father or Mommy. I know. I haven't wanted to tell anyone but you. But I can feel myself slip away a little more each day, like the tide going out.
Don't say it, please, Bethy.
Isn't it funny, me telling you? Me, the cricket at the hearth, always content to stay where I am, while you and Meg and Amy dreamed of flying away. Guess it's my turn to fly away first this time. Oh, Joe, sorry I can't express myself properly,
Oh, Bethy.
but it seems my life was never intended to be long, because I could never imagine what I would do in the future, because I couldn't bear the thought of leaving home. But Joe, I'm not afraid anymore, because they say that the only thing you can take with you when you go is love. I have so much, I know it'll make the end easier. But Joe, I think I may be homesick for you. Even in heaven.
Nothing can part us, Becky. Not really. Not ever.
But Joe, you must take my place for Father and Marmee. They'll turn to you. Help them through this.
I will, Becky. You know I will.
I know. Thank you, Joe. I feel as though I can rest now.
Henceforth, safe across the river, I shall see forevermore a beloved household spirit waiting for me on the shore. Hope and faith, born of my sorrow, guardian angels shall become, and the sister gone before me, by their hands shall lead me home. With Beth's passing came the fulfillment of my promise to her, and each passing day filled our thoughts with the brief but special memories of our time with her. Often I awoke at night thinking Beth had called me, but when the sight of her empty bed brought me to tears, Marmee's arms were always there to gather me up, soothe me with their touch and their silent eloquence. Yet each day slowly lost some of its bitter pain, as her memory was rendered more serene. And with the turning of the seasons, time brought new life and unexpected change into the March household once more.
Joe! I'm going over to Meg's to greet the newlyweds. Father and John are driving them straight from the station. I know Amy is eager to see you. She and Laurie missed us in their wedding at Meg's. Won't you reconsider to come with us?
I'll be fine, Marmee. Besides, someone needs to keep the home fires burning until the entourage arrives. And I'll be seeing Aunt March soon enough.
I suppose you're right. I just worry so. We've all had to bear so much recently, but I find my mind wandering to you more and more. Are you all right, Joe? I know how disappointed you were when March took Amy in your stead, and then, well,
Becky.
yes, Becky. Is it the marriage, Joe?
Oh no, I'm not upset about that. Things worked out just the way they were supposed to. I've just been a little lonely lately. Lonely and sad for things that could never be the way they were again. Perhaps if Laurie had proposed to me now, I might have said yes. Just because it means more to me to be loved now than it used to.
Oh, Joe, your time will come.
No, Marmee, I don't think I shall ever marry.
Joe, you've always known what you've wanted, and you've always had the courage and strength to see it through. Your time will come soon enough, and when it does, it'll be right. Because you've always known what you've been waiting for.
We've got to shake our tail feathers, Mrs. March, unless we want to miss their arrival.
Yes, I'm coming, Hannah. Joe, put the kettle on the fire, and we'll be back before you know it.
Min!
Guess who?
Teddy! Oh, it's so good to see you. You're here already? Where is everybody?
They're still at Meg's. I slipped out because I wanted to see you first. I want to say one thing, but it won't put it away forever.
No, Teddy, you don't need to say it. It was meant to be.
I know that now.
You were so headstrong and certain then.
Now that things are settled properly, it will be just like old times around here.
No, the old days can never come back. We're not playmates anymore. We're man and woman. But we can be brother and sister and love and help each other for the rest of our lives.
Yes, Joe. Always.
Where is she? Where's my old Joe? Oh, Amy? Or should I say Mrs. Lawrence? Just look at you.
Blessed if she ain't dressed in silk from head to foot and with a new Paris bustle to boot.
Oh, Joe, we left you with so many burdens to bear. But never again. Oh, Amy, just look at you. To think I should see the day when you would turn our dear Teddy into a henpecked husband.
No welcome home for me, Miss Pumpkin Alley.
Of course, Aunt March. It's so good to have you home again.
Not at all. Not at all. Look at me, spending all this money on those fancy foreign doctors and those medicinal baths. For what? To come home on a day like today. Oh, my rheumatism. You know, Europe isn't all what they say. It was just so foreign. They simply refused to talk to me in English. Just babbled on and on. They understood me, no doubt. Just wouldn't listen to me. Things are the same all over the world. I'll go lay out a tea service, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Hannah.
Now, tell me all about Europe.
Well, what is there to tell? There's nothing, just a bunch of broken down buildings and filthy, filthy streets. But in Europe, one finds the dirt so picturesque.
Charmingly put, Mrs. Lawrence.
Yes, my wife has quite a way with words.
We're very familiar with it, Mr. Lawrence.
Tell us what your plans are once you've settled in.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she drove 6 white horses, ate off gold plates, and wore diamonds every day, since Teddy thinks nothing's too good for her.
Just really?
Package for Miss Josephine March. Just arrived by post.
But I wasn't expecting.
Well, open it, Joe. Let's see what it is.
It's from Professor Bear. It's my book.
Oh, Joe. Your first book.
Wow.
Professor Bear sent it to me. A friend of mine here in New York has agreed to publish your wonderful novel. He has great hopes for it, and so it is with deepest regards and best wishes that I send you the first copy. I have never read another piece with such simple truth and beauty. Fondly, Fritz Bear.
Congratulations.
Joe, I'm so proud of you.
My Bed by Josephine March.
Read it first, Joe.
Yeah, come on.
Read it. Really, I can't.
Oh, Joe.
All right.
Dedicated with love to my sister Beth. I think back to that Christmas Eve so long ago, when nothing in our little home seemed wrong, and nothing in the world outside